If there is one item that I carry every day without fail, regardless of the season, regardless of how it is outside, it's this ball cap. Now, this is not just some normal hat. It actually has storage inside it. It's called the Cache Cap by Wazoo Survival. And I've had a number of them over the years. In fact, this is all of them. They've never worn out on me. Sure, they've discolored a little bit, but these have been staples every single day. And they have just released their 3rd generation variant. And yeah, they continue to outdo themselves. So I just want to go through it and show you what the improvements are and actually show you how it has changed over time and why you might want to consider getting something so functional. Let's get right into it. So what do you call a group of hats? Well, it's a pile, obviously. Look at this mess. So today I want to talk about the updated variant of the Wazoo Cache Cap. Now this is now the 3rd generation, and I actually have one from every generation, so I will show that to you, and so you can see how they've improved it over time. So this was the first one I had, and as you can see, it is well loved. In fact, you'll notice the discoloration. Now they learned after making it that the ink in the 1st generation, it came out, wore out over time, so that was updated in future iterations. The other thing that you will notice is the inside. So when they initially made it, they had 3 pockets here as well as the one in the front, which has never changed. It's going to be the same in the new cap as well, and it's the same in the 2nd generation, which is what I am wearing right now. So this is the 2nd generation. Now, one thing we have seen improved is, you notice how thin the Velcro is here? What they did was they increased the width of the Velcro, and the point of that, the point of that is that when something is inside of it, like this flashlight, it can still close appropriately. What happened is when you tried to put it in here, you couldn't quite line up the Velcro, and because of that, it wasn't as easy to keep closed. That has since changed, and now there's enough Velcro, and the hook side is going down, so it never hooks on anything else, that it actually stays secure. Now I have added this piece of Velcro up here for my purposes, so it allows this light, which is a photon, to connect to the end of my hat, but it is not something that comes with it. Since we're here, we'll just walk you through what I keep in this hat, and I've been using them a bunch. This is some hydrocolloidal band-aids. I usually keep them wrapped up, and I carry a mask. The other things I carry in this hat are a small USB Type-C cord and the conversions for that cord. On the other side, I keep a small comb. Now usually I have hair ties attached to this. This is mostly so that I have something for my daughter when she needs it. And then the last 2 items are a Victorinox Classic. Now this is the only one of the Victorinox tools that I have found to fit in these side slots. There's also a channel here. It's designed for their tube tools, but I carry a Victorinox, this is the Alox Classic. And then of course in the hood I keep a small flashlight. And that's it. Notice, no survival tools, just practical stuff that I can actually tap into every day. Now this new hat has the same basic components. Now let's take this off. The difference is we still have the Velcro, the extra long Velcro, but this is what has changed the most. So we have a very high reflective tape that's different. In this here it was black, and now we have this reflective silver. Let's see if I can actually showcase that. See that? It's like really reflective. Really reflective, and a high-vis orange material. I absolutely adore this. If you needed a signaling capability, look at this. This is perfect. You can even wear it like rally style if you wanted to. So this is just a really good idea. So you have this combination of low-vis, high-vis. I mean, it's such a small thing, but it really makes a big difference. Now I knew, because I had talked to them that they were going to be changing this material. And I liked that. I thought that was really exciting. What I didn't know is that they would then also be adding this reflective set of pieces. And I think that is the icing on the cake for me. Everything else is very similar. It's using a ripstop style fabric. And the last part is another thing that they've improved. So if you notice, the pockets here is a flap that overlaps. And that's how you keep things in. Not so with this one. It actually has very strong Velcro, in fact, that allows you to access each of these pouches. So if I had smaller items, I wouldn't have to necessarily keep them in Ziplocs like I've been doing. Now they'll actually stay secure inside the hat, which I'm really thankful for. It's kind of not a feature I thought I needed, but now that I'm seeing it, I'm very excited that it's here. It might make it a little easier to put smaller items in various different pouches, or if I have something that I don't want to lose and access quickly, I can just throw it in there without having to think too much about it. So let's go ahead and just quickly load it up with the stuff that I have in my hat right now. And this is some serious Velcro. Man, they are not kidding around. Now notice that the loop side is down so that the hook will never get into your hair or anything like that. So I like that. That's just good practice. So get that closed up and Velcro sealed. There we go. Also, the contrast with the items, I always did find that when it's black on the inside, it's a lot harder to see what I'm doing. So yeah, the other question I had is, can I still get this comb in here? And the answer is yes. That's good. I'm telling you, hat combs, it's going to be big. And then the last part is the 6-inch cable. And the converters. That's it. Now we are good to go. I'm going to adjust that a little bit so it's covering. That's it. I'm going to cut this off. And I have my hat ready to go. Now, here's the thing about these. Wazoo has a guarantee on all of their hats. They will take care of you if there's forever any reason manufacturer's defects. They're one of those companies that really believes in credibility. And one thing I really like, if you notice, there are different variants of this. They not only do they have different colors, but some have a Velcro panel on the front, so you can put a morale patch if that's your thing, or you can have something that's a little bit more low-key. Now obviously this is black, so it already feels more tactical, but you can get them in a whole variety of colors. I have just some examples here. I have a green one, and this was kind of like a light brown. They have a whole variety of different colors, so you can kind of tone it down a little bit depending on your likes and the colors you like. I think they even have camo if that's your thing. So I highly, highly, highly recommend checking these out. Try out the one without the Velcro panel if you're just trying it for the first time. I also found that the fit is really, really good. And as I will show you in just a second, you can't tell that there's anything in there. All right, now as you can see, you cannot tell that there is anything in this hat except my head. You can't tell. It's, you know, you'd be surprised, even with all the stuff that I put in, that I don't see any deformation in any way. Certainly you want to pick items that conform a little bit better so that you don't show, but you can also loosen it up. Like, I like to keep my hat very tight so that I can put monstrous flashlights on my hat and not have it like fall off, you know? But you don't have to do that if you don't want to. And they have built in a little bit more space so that it accommodates those pockets. These really work. And as you can see, I keep in my hat practical items every day, not survival items as much. I mean, you can lose your hat. That's something that can be lost. Survival stuff I have in my belt. We'll talk about that in a different video. But this hat is something that I wear every day without fail. And you'll probably see this exact hat in videos for the next 5 or 6 months. I know I'm boring, but for me, this is part of my uniform every day. And it's one of the components I really depend on. I do. And you'd be amazed. I forget stuff, not surprising, and I end up having it on hand. I cut myself and I have Band-Aids. I don't have to go find a medical kit. Little stuff like that, it makes a big difference. Try it out. I think you'll like it.